like, you know, as mayor, I will make sure people are sentenced properly. Nothing to do with him as mayor. There's absolutely nothing he could do as mayor about sentencing. So straight away he was lying to people. That's me not.
All right, thank you. Let's bring in someone. Do you mind if I bring in someone who would have voted for him?
Bring him in.
Okay. Here's Tonya in South Norwood. Tonya, say hello to Kate, vice versa.
Oh, hi Kate. Hi. Hello.
Tonya, why would you have voted for Sean Bailey?
Ian, I'm 64 years of age, and I have never voted Conservative in my life. But I went to the polls very late at night because I didn't want the crowd, because I use a walking crutch.
Okay.
And I wanted to vote for Sean because of the knife crime. And he was the only person I heard speak about knife crime. And that was my sole reason, because I'm so passionate that I'm actually trembling. This is going crazy in the city and everywhere. And something has to be done about this, Ian. I've got an 11-year-old grandchild who starts in secondary school, and I am absolutely petrified.
But is that Sadiq Khan's fault?
Well, I don't hear him saying anything about knife crime, Ian. And I don't hear him saying a thing.
All right, let's listen to Kate. Kate, what would you say to Tonya's argument?
Well, I would say to Tonya to first of all look at actually not at what people are saying, but what people are doing. So Sadiq Khan has given 45 million to the Young Londoner Initiative to work directly with young people affected by or likely to be drawn into knife crime. He's given 23 million more to the Metropolitan Police than they were given in 2010 to try to alleviate the damage that some of the Tory cuts will do to our policing, which it has done. I mean, we've really got to be honest about this.
I thought the Tories were giving an extra 20,000 officers to the police, or was that just made up?
No, they are now, but that doesn't make up for the police they cut.
Okay.
Still not back to that level. But we have to be really clear and say that the increase in crime in this country is not London-centric. It is across this country, and it is not to do with mayors or local government. This is about...
All right, hold on, Kate. Let's hear from Tonya on that point.
You say about all this money that's been given, but I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any difference being made. During the lockdown, it seemed as though the crime went down slightly. Now it's back up again. And now we've got this new thing of the abduction of children.
What?
I mean, something has to be done.
What abduction of children, Tonya?
Sorry?
What abduction of children?
Haven't you heard about the children being abducted off the streets now?
Well, I've heard about dogs, but not children. Children are being abducted off the streets.
Children are being abducted off the streets now.
Kate?
No, Kate, have you heard about that?
I haven't.
Yeah, I have, but they haven't been abducted off the streets. I think there's a borough, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. There's 3 children.
All right, we're a bit vague about that, so let's stick to what we actually know.
Has gone out to all parents about that.
All right, Kate, I want to move away from that subject because I can't verify any of it, whether it is happening or not. However, in terms of trying to stop knife crime, Kate, you think that Sadiq Khan is the best bet?
I don't know who's the best bet. Sadiq Khan is who we've got. Do I think Sadiq Khan is doing as much as a mayor can do? He's not a policeman, he's not a probation officer, and he's certainly not that man. Well, he's the mayor. He is the mayor's person. He is the mayor's person. He is, and he's given 45 million to youth services. He's not being killed. How many mayor of London to actually bring in a victim?
What was it, Tonya?
Victim commissioner.
Hold on, Kate. Tonya, what was it about what Sean Bailey has said in the run-up to the election that convinced you that he was going to be more of a cure for knife crime?
Ian, he was the only person I heard mention. I can't actually give you the words that he said, but he was the only person I heard speak over and over and over again at the beginning about doing something about knife crime on the street. And anybody who says anything like that and is passionate about it, they will get my vote. And that is why the problem. That's the problem for me. Doing something about knife crime. Doing what?
Do you think the because of
I
Sean...
don't know what, but something has to be done.
Kate, would you agree that because of Sean Bailey's upbringing, he's got more intel about this problem than maybe Sadiq Khan has?
I don't know. I mean, look, there are lots of black people up and down this country who would know nothing about knife crime. They haven't been involved in
I'm not even talking about...
Hold on, Tonya, hold on. Tonya, hold on. Go on, Kate.
They haven't necessarily grown up in socially deprived areas, so that's not necessarily a qualifier for knowing more about knife crime. On top of that, we've got a lot of people in London, ex-gang members, all working with the mayor to try to reduce knife crime, who have had are experts by experience and are really working with the mayor, and they are not eliminating this problem by any stretch of the imagination. You know, Boris Johnson as mayor had a gun, gangs and knife crime summit that didn't really do a lot. This is not a mayoral problem. This is about your police, this is about your young people, this is about your communities, this is about your parents. This is not something people should...
Let me ask both of you. Let me ask you both of you one question about knife crime, and then we'll move on. Tonya and Kate, would you support the police being given more powers of, say, detention in areas where knife crime is prevalent?
Intelligence-led, yes. Random stop and search of anybody because they're black or because they're Asian or because there's something about them that makes them look a bit dodgy to the police, no.
Right.
We have got to tackle knife crime with intelligence.
Same question to you, Kate. Would you be in favour of giving the police more powers of stopping people?
That was Kate.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that... Yeah, that was you, Tonya. Sorry, what would you say?
I would say it's so intelligence-led because it's quite embarrassing for a lot of these guys just stop for no reason, just going about their daily business to college, etc. But what's got to be done has got to be done, really.
Okay.
So,
Let's finish it there. Sorry, I got you confused. Sadiq Khan said this about knife crimes. For those who texting saying he never says anything about knife crime, that's not quite true. As long as I meet bereaved families, he said, this is Sadiq Khan, I will continue to be motivated by this being an important issue now. This is the one issue that keeps me up at night, the safety of Londoners, whether it's from terrorists or violent criminals or the virus. Sean Bailey said in his campaign he pledged to increase the Met Police's strength to a record 40,000 officers if he's elected. He said he would make tackling violent crime his #1 priority and claimed he would be better than Labour Mayor Sadiq Khan at securing government funds. I still think it's up to the government to decide how many police officers are given to the various constabularies. I'm pretty sure that I don't think that's an independent decision that can be made by the mayor. Good afternoon, Ian says, who's this? Doesn't say, please put your name on. Sadiq Khan, in my humble opinion, is not as real as he could be. He aligns himself with working class people. However, he cuts one of London's most deprived, low-wage working class areas in half with his emission zone through Edmonton. It amounts to paying £12.50 each time I take my dad or Gramps to the hospital or take my girlfriend, who's a nurse, to work. The scrappage scheme is a joke. He left the equivalent of a £5 behind the bar for a hen night. Love that expression. It didn't go far. It's now been suspended. They should have just stopped building diesel engines and phased them out, just like the old leaded engines. What am I going to do now with a perfectly good van I was encouraged to buy? More on whether or not you're pleased that Sadiq Khan has been re-elected to be the Mayor of London after the news. First, the headlines with Tim Humphrey.
Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer is expected to confirm a reshuffle of his shadow cabinet later after a number of disappointing election results for the party. He's already been criticised after Deputy Angela Rayner was removed from her role as Labour's chair. Scotland's First Minister has told the Prime Minister a second independence referendum is a question of when, not if, but Nicola Sturgeon says it won't happen until COVID and its recovery have been worked through. The Cabinet Minister says people in England are likely to be given permission to hug friends and family again from a week on Monday. Michael Gove says the Prime Minister is due to announce tomorrow the details for when coronavirus restrictions will lift further. And the weather, rain, some heavy and thundery across east and southeast England tonight. Clear spells elsewhere with some showers in the west and a low of 4.
This is LBC.
Hi, I'm Carrie, a customer service supervisor for TfL. If you need to travel, please walk or cycle if possible. When using public transport, please plan ahead and travel at quieter times, which on weekdays are between 8:15 a.m. and 4 p.m. and after 5:30 p.m. Please continue to wear a face covering at all times unless you are exempt. Download TfL Go, our real-time travel app, to plan your journey. We're ready when you are. To the Mayor of London and TfL, every journey matters.
Gary bought a trampoline online with Visa, so he has protection if his card is used fraudulently. Now Gary's feeling pretty confident. Confident enough to try a slam dunk from his trampoline. Oh, Gary. Visa's zero liability helps protect you from fraud. It just can't protect you from yourself. Search Visa How You Pay Matters to find out more. Commercial and anonymous prepaid cards excluded. Responsible card use required. Contact your bank for T&Cs.
5. The Kia countdown to going hybrid has started. 4. With 4 stunning hybrid cars, including the Kia Sportage, Exceed, Niro and Stonic. 3. All come with 3 amazing offers until the end of May. 2. First 2 services free, 2 years roadside assistance. 1. And the big one? 0. That's right, 0% APR. It's time to go hybrid with Kia. Search Go Hybrid with Kia today. Kia. Movement that inspires. 0% APR available over 24 months with minimum 20% deposit. Kia Finance.
Yesterday, you weren't thinking about starting a business. You were thinking, I can't be the only person who makes birthday gifts for their dog. So today, you are thinking about starting a business, and you joined NatWest's free online business builder course to help you work out your target market and how to reach them. Then tomorrow, super excited, you get the name @HappyBirthDog on Insta and start planning how to take your pooch-friendly prezzies global. Search NatWest Business Builder to sign up. NatWest. Tomorrow begins today.
Life feels like it's slowly getting back to normal. But we've all still got a part to play to help us get there safely. So from beer gardens to getting that much needed haircut, if you've got a mask and hand sanitizer with you when you're out, you are still making a difference. Order before 4 p.m. weekdays for next day delivery from trustedppe.co.uk. Together, we've got this. Rated excellent on Trustpilot.
Getting in the car on a cold winter's morning, you don't even want to touch the steering wheel. And by the time the car's heated up, you're already at your destination.
category of free polluting cars
diesel. I hear, well, I don't hear them because they're electric, but there's quite a few electric cabs now.
They are, but it's just the new ones of the 2016 and
Yeah.
which is not.
So why do you object to Sadiq Khan as mayor?
So first of all, the double standard I was talking about. Second of all, the lack of logic in areas like Euston Road, for example, where if you want the traffic to flow in such an important street which is linking west to east, you don't mix categories of vehicles like buses, cyclists and cars all together. I bet there would have been, I don't know, solutions to take the cyclist out of the main road, you know? And have in mind that the second...
But you got to have buses and cabs together, haven't you?
Sorry?
You've got to have buses and cabs sharing the same carriageway.
Obviously, it's just a road there, but if you take out the cyclists and you put them in the congestion charge area because they're not paying it anyway, you know, you will simplify. In order to get the traffic flowing, you need to simplify, not complicate. You know, in my opinion, the other connection east-west, it's the embankment, which is now occupied by a cyclist highway for 6 or 7 years already.
Okay, right. Now, I want to get your objection. Did Sean Bailey offer an alternative?
Yes.
What did he say about?
He was very clear in trying to make things flowing in terms of traffic. You know, removing the crazy situations with the flower pots in the middle of the road in neighborhoods, cutting the connection between main roads and so on.
Yeah.
Removing the stupid idea of pushing the ultra low emission zone to north and south circular. And I will make a point here. When the businesses in central London are severely hit by lack of customers because corporation employees are not there, because international tourists are not there, you don't want to remove the local tourists. People living in Oxbridge like me...
But he's suggesting that people use public transport instead to get around London.
Come on, Jan. It's about people having disabilities. It's about dogs. It's about people with small kids who are actually turned into second-class citizens now simply because they have an older car. If you have a baby in a pandemic, you will not take the bus. You will not take the train. You will go with your car, pay the parking, eat to McDonald's or another business there, a small business who are selling sandwiches and coffee and so on in central area, you know?
All right, listen,
because of the congestion charge area being extended in time, and the being extended in October to north and south circular, you are, in my opinion, the situation will create second-class citizens. If you don't have a new car, you'll not get into the...
Listen, I hear what you're saying. Sorry, I've got a lot of people who want to talk about this, Michael, so forgive me for moving on. The only thing I would say about that is, yes, the congestion charge definitely affects me, because, you know, if I want to come here at some ungodly hour to do the job, I need to be able to get in and out and do it cheaply. The congestion charge is still probably the cheapest way, unless I cycle in. Who wants to do that at 1 in the morning? But I don't really think that my objection to the changing of the congestion charge is enough for me to vote against him or for him one way or the other, and that's the difference with me. But for you, Michael, I totally understand it because it's your livelihood. Jane's in Battersea. Hello, Jane.
Hi, I'm actually in Millbank.
Okay.
But I'm ringing because I have a real issue with Sadiq Khan being in again, and the reason being is that I live in the congestion zone and the ULEZ zone, have lived there prior to them introducing that into my area, so in central, and I am also a single parent with 2 kids and have to travel to school on a daily basis, obviously, take my kids to school. I purchased a hybrid car in 2018 and was told to be exempt from congestion, and I was told that that's actually now no longer exempt from October.
No, I was going to say.
So I said, okay. So I said, okay, no problem about that, but can I actually just get a resident, discount, obviously, because I'm living in it, and they've stopped giving that out.
Okay.
So they have thought, even though they said it's temporary, it's been over a year now, they've said, actually, you can't, your
don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of that. So what were you saying today about a hybrid car? That if you're half electric and half petrol, you get exempt?
I bought a hybrid.
Yeah. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so I bought
Hybrid.
I brought a hybrid car. Yeah, so that I didn't.
Oh, we've lost it. Never mind. Let's move on to Simon, who's in Harleston in North London. Hello, Simon.
Hello there, Ian. How are you?
I'm fine. Are you pleased that Sadiq's still there?
Yes, I am.
Why?
And to be honest, I voted for him back in 2016. Yeah, 2016 I voted for him, and I voted for him again because if it wasn't for him, TFL would have been bankrupt, and you know.
I think some people are blaming him for them being almost bankrupt, having to be bailed out.
I don't think it's his fault because you know the Conservatives, as in the government, they weren't really helping him. They weren't helping him. They said instead of they're going to have to increase the bus fares. If they froze it,
No. The mistake he made, I'm sure you'll disagree with it, but the mistake he made, it appears to me, being someone who came into work every day during the pandemic, if we can call it that in the past tense, there was no people on buses, there were hardly any people on the tube, and yet the service was still as regular as it was before. So you've got the same amount of expenses with about 1/10 of the income. That's why it ran out of money.
Okay, and also if it wasn't for, you know, they say to him, the Conservatives said to him, you have to up your fares, you're going to have to increase the charges, the congestion charges.
Yeah.
And, you know, as a person who has got visual impairment, if it wasn't for him, he would have...
Okay, let's say that he kept the prices as they were, but halved the regular service, so a bus wouldn't come every 5 minutes, it would come every 10 minutes. Would that have been okay with you?
That would have been okay, yeah.
Why didn't he do that?
Yeah. Well, and then you got Sean Bailey, who wanted to axe the...
What?
He wanted to axe the Freedom Pass.
He wanted to axe free travel for the disabled?
Yeah.
Right, we need to check that. I don't know about that, Simon, but anyway.
Because, you know, obviously, you know, with the staff who work on the underground, apparently he wanted to stop their priority of getting free travel as well.
Okay, look, again, Simon, this is something I have to we have to understand, when you come on and talk to us, if we don't challenge or allow people to say things that are liable to lead to action, legal action, we have to be very careful, because we, not you, we will be held responsible. So when we shut people down, I know a lot of people say, oh, don't shut them down, don't shut them down, don't shut them down. Just because they disagree with it. It's nothing to do with that. It's almost always because you're saying something that is unverifiable, and if it's proved that what you just said was actually wrong, you know, you can understand someone who you're inferring is like the way you're referring, taking action. All right, it's as simple as that. Good afternoon, Sadiq Khan. In my humble opinion, oh, I've read that one. Apologies. This is from. Let's speak to Dave in Harrow. What do you think, Dave?
I'm really glad that he's got back in, to be honest.
Why?
You know, I think I think he's been quite brave and bold, you know, with some of these things that are controversial. And, you know, your previous caller said about, you know, the LTNs and the cycleways. You know, I'm not going to bluff about it or be, you know, duplicitous like a lot of these people.
What about putting down those giant flower pots that stop cars using cut-through routes?
Well, you know, the best you can say is he tried. You know, in some of those places they've kept those things, and he's addressing the problem. I get the impression he's addressing the problem. I still think a lot more needs to be done, but you know, there's a mountain of opposition to this. There's so many turkeys who want to vote for Christmas out there that, you know, I was just thinking, even as a non-cyclist, as a driver, I would be grateful if I was driving still, which I'm not, but I'd be grateful to anybody who had initiative to take cars off the road, because it actually means that less traffic for everybody else.
Yes. So what would you say to our carpet fixer about that?
Well, I would say to him, get behind these things, because, you know, if people absolutely need to drive, which if they've got a trade like that, there's no way around it, then, you know, fair play. But there's a lot of people out there, I've just been out today, there's people with engines running, just chucking about, swanning about, and they are the ones that are actually causing the traffic. You know, people who don't need to
maybe rather than have a congestion zone, and maybe rather than having, you know, ULEZ and all the rest of it, we have an application system whereby people apply to drive in London, and you've got to have a really good reason to drive in London. Do you think that would be a good idea?
Yeah,
I've often thought that would be a good idea, and I would never have to drive in London. Yay, I hate driving. I used to love it. I absolutely hate it now. If you're in London, it's just so slow, you get annoyed. If you're outside London, it's just so slow and you get annoyed. You just stop on those smart blooming motorways. It's 13 minutes to 7.
Coming up at 7 on LBC, Rachel Johnson.
Is Keir Starmer Labour Party's problem, or is it far, far bigger than that?
Rachel Johnson on LBC.
Yesterday, you weren't thinking about starting a business. You were thinking, I can't be the only person who makes birthday gifts for their dog. So today, you are thinking about starting a business, and you joined NatWest's free online business builder course to help you work out your target market and how to reach them. Then tomorrow, super excited, you get the name at Happy Birth Dog on Insta and start planning how to take your pooch-friendly prezzies global. Search NatWest Business Builder to sign up. NatWest. Tomorrow begins today.
Have you got big decorating or DIY projects planned? Then get into action and get to your local Leyland SDM. You'll find thousands of decorating and DIY products to choose from, all under one roof. With leading brands, in-store paint colour mixing, and always great service, tackle those tasks with confidence. Our stores are all across London and open 7 days a week, or shop online for quick and easy home delivery at leylandsdm.co.uk. Leyland SDM.
The work's done, load off. And with 50 free spins when I signed up to PokerStars Casino, I found the thrill and chill. Struck gold in the moments between the moments. You see, this ain't just downtime. No, this is epic downtime.
Join PokerStars Casino today and get 50 free spins on sign up. Are you in?
New casino players only. Valid on 7 slots, 7-day expiry. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Play responsibly.
If you're a business welcoming back your customers, it's important you keep yourself, your employees, and your customers safe. Because around 1 in